Hey guys, red and black greetings. This is Flamengo. Welcome to the Paparazzo Rubro Negro channel. If you're new here, follow, like, and share on all platforms. If you're on YouTube, I invite you to subscribe down below. Turn on notifications by clicking the bell and drop a like on the video. We've got some amazing tips here, man. Really amazing tips. They're on our stories and also on our tips channel. I'm already going to leave it here, along with our sponsors here. I'm going to leave the QR code running here. I'll leave this QR code here running here. Here's the QR code for our tips channel because all the links are there. My friends, there are a lot of great tips. There are tips for the PSG game, man. They're really impressive picks, okay? I'm gonna leave it here, man, this tips channel for you to access, all right? There you'll find everything I brought, man. Yeah, there's PSG and Arsenal, right? In the Champions League, there's one at 1.77 odds. For tip 17, you can put in a little money and turn it into 17 man. These are tips just for fun, right? Always remember to play responsibly. For those over 18 years old, it's for fun, not for investment, man. There's also one for Flamengo and Curitiba, man. These are some boosted ones we made that are spectacular, okay? So, man, here we have one for you to get an idea about Flamengo and Curitiba. We have one here. A really interesting tip to bring to you guys is, for example, look at this. Look how cool. Flamengo and Curitiba also have odds, super odds, okay? From 1.75 to 3 for Flamengo to win and have more than 0.5 goals in the first half for new users on the platform. You'll see it there on our Telegram, okay? So I only got a max stake of 50, huh? Look how cool, 50 reais. You can play around with it, make this bet. So take advantage, go there, it's here. I'll leave this QR code on the screen for you while we're bringing you the Flamengo news. Man, what happiness, huh? What a joy. Flamengo posted, right? Paying tribute to our João Fonseca, right? Fonseca, man, wow, he got an unbelievable victory, right? What an amazing win, right? Not unbelievable because he's good, right? But a comeback that few have managed against Djokovic at Roland Garros, right? Third set, man, sensational phase. Man, unbelievable. Sensational. Okay. Man, unbelievable. I said unbelievable again, right? Because it's because Djokovic is so out of this world, right? And the kid pulled it off, right? Yeah, he managed to advance, beating Djokovic with a comeback, losing 2-0, then turned it around to 3-2. It was thrilling. Flamengo posted, "Go João Fonseca, a historic comeback at Roland Garros to secure a spot in the next round of the tournament. Your team is here cheering for you. Let's go." And the tennis balls, right? Yeah, that's it. Go João Fonseca, man. That's pure Flamengo spirit, right? Flamengo fan, man. Spectacular, man. Really happy for João Fonseca. What an emblematic victory, right? And so we have Pedro calling on the fans for this game too, right? There's still time, right? Ingressosflamengo.com.br. We had our big Pedro here. Look, the nation.
I'm stopping by to invite all of you to Saturday's game against Coritiba. I hope you'll be there to support us. As always, we're together.
Let's go, let's go, let's go. So 4 p.m. this Saturday, Flamengo and Coritiba, right? That's why we're already giving you the tips from now on because the game is early, 3 p.m. here. For those in the United States, with broadcast on Flamengo TV, with video for viewers abroad only, right? Because Flamengo is the home team, so there are images. João Guilherme, man, it's full service, right? We're also reporting that training ended earlier, right? And now in the late afternoon, and Eric Pulgar in the spotlight there. Look, our likely starter. Look at that, huh? Flamengo posting Eric Pulgar, training finished. Pulgar there, probably the starter for the game against Coritiba, right? We're keeping an eye on Pulgar and Pedro announcing, so we already know 2 starters, right? Pulgar and Pedro, right? 2 starters have already been leaked, which we already know, Pulgar and Pedro, who will definitely crush it this Saturday. And Flamengo is going to get an important win over Coritiba to stay in the fight, right? For the Brasileirão, we have to think ahead. Now, if Flamengo wins the postponed game against Mirassol, they'll be 4 points behind Palmeiras. It's a win in the head-to-head match there, and if they slip up, even a draw is enough for us, okay? Yeah, I was talking about Eric Pulgar. A lot of people are saying that the player has already agreed to a transfer, right? to Arab football, Turkish football. It's just that he has an offer and all that. What they told me is that Flamengo hasn't received an offer. Flamengo told me there's no offer on the table for Eric Pulgar, and that if there is one, Flamengo has a great relationship with the player to negotiate, right? And to resolve it and do everything possible to keep Eric Pulgar on the team, right? Yeah, we know how important Eric Pulgar is to Flamengo's team, right? But Everton Araujo is doing really well, but man, Pulgar is an idol, right? Pulgar? Today he's already an idol for the red and black faithful, right? And I think that's the management knows exactly what Eric Pulgar means and will do everything to keep the player on the team. Yeah, we already have Flamengo's probable lineup here, right? To tell you guys about the match against Coritiba, just a reminder, Flamengo faces Coritiba at 4 p.m., right? ESPN has the probable lineup for Flamengo. Take a look. Just reminding you that people are guessing here 2-1 for Mengão. That's my guess too, okay? Flamengo 2-1 or 3-1, all right? The game will be broadcast on Sport TV on cable and premiere on pay-per-view. And Flamengo TV, as I mentioned, will have the broadcast for international viewers. That's Flamengo. They should come with Rossi, Emerson Royal, Leo Ortiz, Vitão, and Ayrton Lucas, Eric Pulgar, Everton Araujo, Saul, Luis Araujo, Samuel Lino, and Pedro. Okay? So that's probably the lineup for the very strong Mengo, right? And we believe in this win. The referee is Flavio Rodrigues de Sousa from São Paulo. Yeah, I've already said this. I think it's absurd for a referee from São Paulo to officiate a game like this, right? Flamengo is fighting for it, right? And the two assistant referees are also from São Paulo. They're competing with Palmeiras for the title, but the referees are from São Paulo. Imagine if Rio referees always officiated Palmeiras' games. Assistants, Daniel Paulo Zioli and Daniel Luiz Marques, both from São Paulo as well. And the VR is Diego Pombo Lopes from Bahia. That's right. So we're bringing you this information, and tomorrow morning we'll bring you more updates. Just a reminder, here's Curitiba's probable lineup. We'll bring everything with more details in the morning, but it should be Pedro Rangel, right? JP Sherman, Thiago Costa Hassi and Bruno Melo, Thiago Santos, Sebastian Gomez, and Josué La Vega, Breno Lopes, and Pedro Rocha, right? La Vega, who's been playing well for Curitiba, right? And keep an eye on him too. Pedro Rocha, you have to watch out for these guys. Curitiba has been a very good away team, right? Flamengo will have to stay very focused, right? Against Curitiba, Flamengo can't afford to slip up anymore, right? Flamengo is really very weak. With players missing, Flamengo needs it, and there will be a goal from Pedro, huh, my friends? That's another good one. A goal from Pedro, right? That one, yeah. I think Flamengo to win the game, Pedro to score at any time. That one is also really good, right? Really good. Look, just bringing this up here, man, this image here, this image, I'm telling you, this image gives any Flamengo fan goosebumps. Look, just imagining this here, you can't even think about it. What's the first thing that comes to your mind? One already came, just waiting for the other one. That image, right? And man, it's impressive. It's impressive. Flamengo fans look at that and immediately think one already came, just waiting for the other one, right? The homegrown player is, yeah, he's already here. The other one is still coming, God willing, like you said, right? 4 years from now, right? He'll still be young, huh? Yeah, he'll still be young, still young. I have no doubt that we'll still have the pleasure of seeing the great Vini Jr. playing alongside Lucas Paquetá. Yeah, like I told you guys, the demand for tickets for this game against Curitiba because of Flamengo's big absences, right? It's low, okay? Yeah, just a little over 27,000 tickets were sold until about 3 hours ago before I recorded this video from Vila, and we should be reaching 30,000 tickets now, right? Flamengo fans could really step up so that at least around 50,000 people are there supporting Flamengo, right? It's the team, man, an alternative lineup. It's not the main squad, we know that. But it's a really important match. It's in these moments that we show the strength of the nation, right? This is when we show the strength of the Flamengo fan base. Honestly, I really wanted Flamengo fans to go there. Yeah, to support Flamengo at this moment, right? Look, a lot of people are saying that there's an offer from Besiktas for Rossi, right? So we did some investigating with a source connected to Flamengo's board, and we confirmed that the offer being talked about from Besiktas for goalkeeper Agustin Rossi really did happen, but it was back in December, okay? Since then, no other offer has been made by the Turkish club, okay? So we have this information going around that Besiktas is trying to sign Rossi, but the information is old, my friends, okay? So I confirmed this with a source connected to the board that it's old, okay? Let me say this too, since we're talking about the transfer market. Atlético Paranaense couldn't sign Rodinei, okay? They couldn't. According to GE, the deal for the signing fell through. The right back even expressed to Olympiacos his desire to play for the club from Paraná, but he wasn't released. The management of the Greek team believes that the player is one of the main leaders of the squad, so they decided to keep him. Man, Rodinei is something else, isn't he? He's a playful guy, man. Seriously, he boosts any group he's in, man. He did a lot of good for Flamengo, right? And that's why they decided to keep him, since he still has another year on his contract. Rodinei had already agreed on salary terms and contract length with Atlético Paranaense. That's good, right? It's good he didn't come, man. Honestly, I would be sad to see Rodinei at Atlético playing for another Brazilian team, you know? I really wanted Rodinei to come back and finish his career at Flamengo. That would be very important to me, you know? Yeah, look, we have some important information here to share with you guys also about the transfer market. And it's information that shows how desperate the clubs get when they find out they're going to face Flamengo, right? They get desperate. According to the GE portal, with the match against Flamengo in the round of 16 of the Copa Libertadores, Cruzeiro will go to the transfer market in the mid-year window looking for major reinforcements to strengthen their squad. The board of the Minas Gerais club intends to prioritize signing key players who can make the difference in big matches. The expectation is that between 3 and 4 players will be signed, with the main focus on the attack, right? Aiming to increase the team's ability to come through in big matches, especially with the upcoming clash against Flamengo in the Libertadores. They're going to sign new players, okay? Okay? According to Globo Esporte, they're looking to sign key players who can decide matches. 3 to 4 athletes just because they're going to face Flamengo. That's crazy, isn't it? People are complaining here in the post about Cruzeiro, an important match against Coritiba with Maracanã empty. The fair weather fans only show up when things are good. There's that too, right? Come on, it's a joke, guys. This was the time for everyone to go, right? Yeah, you can sign whoever you want. There won't be enough time for them to gel. Andre, yeah, Bonolo sent it, right? Yeah, meanwhile, the GOAT Bodo is just standing there doing nothing. No, we don't know, right? The transfer window is still going to open, my friend. They're so inactive, while Boto isn't even... There's nobody signing anyone. There's no window, man. Yeah, right? It's Jefferson 13 Flamengo should really try to sign Luis Henrique. Igor Paixão, Flamengo will have to sign him too. But it's impressive that those guys are going to sign 3 or 4 players just because they're going to face Flamengo. So you can see the level of desperation of the team when they find out they're going to face Flamengo, right? It's impressive. Those guys, Pedrinho is going to open up his wallet. He's going to spend big money, spend the BH supermarket money, spend whatever it takes. So, no. It's so they don't risk getting thrashed by Flamengo because they want to strengthen the team to be able to face Flamengo in the Libertadores. Look how crazy this is, how far it's come, right? How far it's come. My friends, look, let me bring you one last important piece of news, okay? The court overturned the injunction that was hindering Flamengo from receiving sponsorship payments from BRB, okay? It allowed the BRB sponsorship payments to Flamengo, okay? According to the GE portal, the Brasilia court overturned the injunction that suspended new sponsorship payments from the Bank of Brasilia to Flamengo. The agreement is estimated at 42 million reais, more than 42, right? In recent weeks, the 6th Court of Public Treasury of the Federal District had accepted the request in a public interest lawsuit. Anyone can file a public interest lawsuit and seek the temporary suspension of payments. However, the contract between the bank and the club did not directly involve the federal district government. The court declared the Public Treasury Court incompetent to analyze the case and ordered the redistribution of the case to one of the civil courts of Brasilia. On Thursday, Judge Luciana Correia Sete Torres de Oliveira from the 7th Civil Court of Brasilia reviewed the case and denied the initial petition dismissing the case. No order for costs or attorney's fees. Losing party fees, okay? The judge understood that there are no proven illegalities in the sponsorship and that the issue presented goes beyond the scope of a public interest lawsuit. Yeah, I'd like to know where that came from, right? I'd like to know where that came from, that attack there, trying to block it, which led to nothing. They got screwed, right? I'd like to know where that comes from, right? These ideas. It's surreal, isn't it, man? The Metropolis portal published on May 13th that Flamengo requested the advance payment of 50% of the amount after renewing the contract. By March 27th, the club had already received 21,163,000 on April 20th, referring to half of the expected amount. But the temporary suspension ended up preventing the receipt of another 6.2 million during that period. But now Flamengo is going to receive it, right? And it's impressive. It's us against everything and everyone, my friends, but it's okay. Flamengo has already resolved this situation, this issue, right? That's it. Actually, not Flamengo, right? The court. But Flamengo already has everything sorted out now, okay? So we'll be back early. Great to be with you again. Just reminding you, our stories are on our tips channel. Everything's there, man. There's a lot, right? Champions League this Saturday at 3 p.m. Right after the Champions League, Mengo also has a game, an important Flamengo match, right? It's a game that's going to mean a lot for Flamengo, right? Because it's a home game. They're the hosts. Palmeiras won their last match, and now they have this game against Chapecoense. It's hard to imagine Palmeiras slipping up against Chape, but we have to do our part, right? That's it. We're in this together. Big hug, red, black greetings. This is Flamengo. Thanks.